What's up, YouTube? Okay, for tonight's video I've got a UBERS battle between me and LadyKrimZen. She sort of wanted to do one, and I thought, hell, let's put it up tonight. I'm not uploading either, sorry, not uploading, I'm not doing a live stream tonight because I'm feeling a little bit tired, but we'll try and get one next weekend. I'm just feeling a little bit tired, so I thought I'd do something special for tonight to make up for that. Question of the day, what is your favourite UBERS Pokemon or legendary Pokemon? Leave it below, even if you've got a cool set for it. Put it below as well. Tomorrow I'll have some of my new team up, well, my whole new team done up tomorrow as well. Do some battles for then. Get them up too. That's about all that's going at the moment. Let's get to this battle. Okay, so we had quite a couple of Pokemon that were the same. We both had Arceus and Giratina, and we had Deoxys as well. So 3 of the same Pokemon, which is interesting. And I've got a Zangoose, which is a really cool set that I like to run in any tier. Works quite well. Yeah. So I decided to sort of start things off with my Zekrom. Also, if my voice sounds a little bit different or whatnot, I'm just using my headset to narrate at the moment. Right, so I'm actually banded Zekrom, and I thought, well, none of our team's fairy or anything like that, so I'm just going to go like for Outrage, because banded Outrage is really, really strong. On this guy, it's fucking crazy, and it actually leaves with like, I don't know, tiny little bit of health and gets the Will-O-Wisp off, so that definitely tells me that was a max health, max defense. Giratina, no questions asked there. So I'm locked into Outrage here. I know none of our Pokemon would really want to come in on that, except for maybe Lugia, but Giratina is pretty much just going to get KO'd there. There's not much point swapping else for sort of extra damage there. Right, so I take a little bit of burn damage there. I'm still locked into Outrage. I haven't got any confusion, which is good. So out comes a Deoxys attack. I'm expecting some sort of special move coming my way. This thing's got crazy attack. I know mine's got like a modest. Modest gets about 504. And I live with 3 health, which is really crazy. And I managed actually to get the Outrage off as well. And that's going to be enough to take Deoxys down because it's got really frail defenses. So that was, I couldn't ask for really a more perfect start of the battle. Then I get confused, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go down to the fire damage from Will-O-Wisp, but that was good. Burying Deoxys was really very good. That thing's crazy. Very scary. Right, so we've got Arceus out now. I sent in my own Deoxys since the coast was clear for the other Deoxys. Wasn't too sure if we'd be having sort of like a speed tie. I thought, well, I just thought that the Psycho Boost would be quite interesting with Life Orb. And once again, her Pokemon hangs on with like a little squidge in the health. Man. Okay, she's got a... Is that a... Oh, it's a Salac Berry, okay. And she's going to go for Cosmic Power. But that's not really going to do too much. Even with a Salac Berry boost, this thing's not going to be able to outspeed me. Unless it's got Extreme Speed. I've got Extreme Speed as well. I'm not sure if she had Extreme Speed, but if she did, I would have outsped. Anyway, it's... Maybe it was a more like bulky Arceus, I'm not sort of too sure at this point in time. Right, so in comes Rayquaza. I know that it might have Extreme Speed itself, but I wasn't too sure if it was like going to be a Life Orb or a D-Dance set, so I sort of stayed in. But the Deoxys is going to go down to that. Once again, it could have like gone down to any sort of attack, so I didn't really know if it was banded at this point in the game. Now, this is my Scarf Kyogre. There's not going to be too much longer before I can use this guy, because it's going to be like the Mega one as soon as you sort of like send it out and stuff. So that does loads with Extreme Speed, so that's definitely telling me that it's banded. I've got my Ice Beam there, that's going to completely take out Rayquaza there. So that was good getting that guy out of the way. Like, that's pretty scary, banded. Now, out comes Ho-Oh in the rain, which is quite interesting. Probably guessing that I'm Scarfed. And I just go for Ice Beam here, because I know it'll do some like little bit of damage. And it's going to be a Sky attack here. And it's going to tell me that it's going to be like a Sky attack with the Power Herb to fully charge it straight away. And that's going to take me out. That looks pretty cool, actually. I like that animation. Right, now I knew this thing would have Regenerator, so I wanted to try out my little strategy here with Zangoose. I've used this before well, not loads of times, but a couple of times. Now I'm actually choice Scarf Jolly, Final Gambit, and with 350 max health at level 100, it does a really solid job at just taking Pokemon out. Just like that. Using Final Gambit obviously takes yourself out, but I was quite happy to have an eye for an eye there, getting rid of Ho-Oh there, a really formidable physical attacker. Right, my last 2 Pokemon here, I believe, with Giratina and my Arceus. Unfortunately, both of them were sort of tanky Pokemon. They didn't have like any wall breaking compatibilities at all. So I thought I was really going to sort of struggle here. The Dragon Tail's not going to do anything. I was sort of just seeing if it had leftovers as well, if it didn't have sort of another item, which would be sort of weird, but I was just checking anyway, because it could have been. Now, I had Will-O-Wisp here, but I didn't want to use that. I actually had Arceus as well, as I mentioned before, but Arceus actually had Toxic, was running Toxic on it. It's more of a bulky Arceus set. Lugia's got Raw, so that's interesting. That's pretty much going to swap me out. Dragon Tail, pretty much Dragon Tail does the same thing, but I guess it could work for like if fairies coming in on it. That'd be the only reason why you use Raw, like on Lugia. Most of the time Dragon Tail is better, but definitely better if there's fairies around, which there sort of always will be in UBERS with Xerneas running around. Now, like I said, there wasn't anything my Giratina could do here. I really just needed to get that Toxic off on Lugia, or else I was going to get completely stalled out by it. Now, it's got Aeroblast, and that does like a little quite chunk of damage to me there. Like I said, there wasn't much I could do here. I just sort of wanted to go down and switch Arceus into Toxic it. Then we could have a little bit of fun using both spamming Recover. I'm guessing it had Recover, or some sort of healing move. I was praying at this point that it didn't actually have Rest. Okay, I actually am carrying Rest myself, so I'm not sort of too worried about this Toxic at all. She thought I'd probably switch there, which I nearly did, but I actually just threw the Rest up before I actually swapped, because then I can sort of swap Giratina in without receiving any turns of Toxic, for like 2 turns, which is good. Lugia's not doing too much damage to me either. Aeroblast seems to be its main form of sort of attack there. Now I'm going to swap here and into Arceus again. I've got to get this Toxic off on this Lugia. I was just going to stall me out. It's going to go for Roar again. So this would have been much more effective with some traps on the field. It's really just swapping out my Pokemon, which can be handy as well. But I'm just glad there wasn't any like Stealth Rock or anything. That would have sucked. So I'm just continually swapping my Pokemon here. Oh, it sounded like a plane going overhead. That was weird. Anywho's, Lugia is going to continue going for Aeroblast. I know that it doesn't have like loads of PP for that as well. I'm very specially defensive Arceus set, which is good because I can take hits a lot better from this thing. So I hit the Toxic. That was great. Now I was praying that it didn't have Rest or something. I did think it have Rest because it's got much more viable recovery options than that, like Recover and like Roost even, and Rest being probably the third one. Unless it was like a Rest Sleep Talk one, which would be very annoying. Missed with Toxic. It didn't sort of make too much difference because I had Giratina left there. Sort of swap in later. This is also a Cosmic Power set, so it's quite funny we ran the same sort of Arceus set. Obviously, we didn't know what Pokemon we're going to use before the battle, so that was quite interesting too. This is pretty much just a special defensive wall, but with Cosmic Power bulky like compatibilities, and you can just go Toxic on anything, and it's got extreme speed as well for some nice stab and priority as well, and some good base power. And if they swap like a Ghost Pokemon in, you can also go for Toxic and like swap out, so it isn't completely walled. Apart from like a real Steel type, that'd pretty much be it. So extreme speed's doing some nice amounts considering it's a Lugia. Lugia's pretty much only option here is just to go for Aeroblast and do some more damage. I think it's got a good chance of a crit as well with Aeroblast. I remember Aeroblast in Gen 2, that was really quite cool. The animation on it was much better than the animation in this gen, but I guess you get that every sort of gen. So I'm slowly dying to Toxic here. I could go for Recover, but I didn't see much point in it because Lugia is now starting to take some nice like amounts of damage with Toxic, and I just want to pressure it with Extreme Speed, and that's just going to sort of help me out in the long run later on. Now, it's going to go for Roost again, but which, while it's good at the start, is that Toxic damage is sort of whittling away its health, and I know eventually that even if I sacrifice my Arceus, I've got a very good chance of living with Giratina because it's not really dishing out too much damage at this point in the game. Now I'm up to a good, I think there's a good 4th or 5th round of Toxic damage there. They start doing lots of Lugia as well. I did over a quarter damage there. Now Extreme Speed again, that's my only sort of move. I think it's got about 8 PP. But the idea is to sort of use it sparingly and make use of your Toxic and Cosmic Power a lot more. Toxic Recover and Cosmic Power, and only use Extreme Speed when you really sort of have to. You can also bring it into Revenge Kill stuff as well, so that's pretty handy, I believe. and it makes a different change from a more offensive Arceus sort of sets, like out there and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to obviously survive one more round of Toxic here. I could go for Recover, as I said before, but I just want to get more damage on this thing, rack up that Toxic. Okay, one more Extreme Speed there. I think that's nearly... I've got a couple to go, but that's pretty much it for my Arceus here. I've got my Sleeping Giratina left, so I can avoid Toxic for 2 more turns, and as I know of, it doesn't have any moves to sort of do too much damage to me. So that's pretty much it for my Arceus. He went bye-bye, but that was really good. I just needed Toxic on Lugia, because that would have been really bad with those last 2 Pokemon. I definitely wouldn't be able to get past Lugia at all with like all those recoveries, and it had Toxic himself. Now, Giratina's asleep, but this is pretty much game because Lugia can't touch me at all. I've actually got Sleep. This is a Sleep Talk one. Instead of, like, I see quite a few Chesto Resto ones as well. I've seen them before. But I thought Sleep Talk would be much better on this guy because he's very, very bulky. And Will-O-Wisp is nice on it as well. I've run that as well. Like, Rest, Sleep Talk, Will-O-Wisp, and Dragon Tail. It obviously works a lot better with traps on the field, which is interesting. But I like the Dragon Tail as well because you can sort of cycle through the team, burn them, push them away, that sort of thing there. And so Lugia goes for its final Aeroblast there, and it doesn't do too much to me. I think I get past the Sleep Talk and actually do a move this time. I think I do Rest. No, I do Dragon Tail, which does like absolutely nothing to Lugia. But it doesn't really matter because all they did, I think they actually did max damage. But Toxic is going to take the Lugia out, and that's pretty much game. But good game, Kath. That was always fun. And I'll have my new team and stuff up tomorrow, have some battles with that. I just thought I'd put something a little bit different up tonight. Go check Kath's channel out as well. Go subscribe there. I'll put it in the comment section as well. But that's about all for this video. Peace out, guys.